Good morning to all. Today, case study video we are going to discuss on failure of freight engines. Now let's move on to this topic. Initially, the engine failure is a serious and potentially catastrophic event that can occur in aircraft of all types. While it is a relatively rare occurrence, it is important for pilots and air crew to be aware of the potential causes and consequences of engine the engine failure and to be trained to handle such an emergency situation relatively. Next, what are the causes of engine failure? There are number of different causes of engine failure, but some of the most common include fuel problems, structural failures, and external factors, maintenance issues. All are being available. They are the causes of engine failure. The fuel problems, it can include fuel starvation, contamination, or misfueling. Structural failures include broken components such as connecting rods, crankshafts, valves, or camshafts. Maintenance issues are here it include improper maintenance and improper maintenance procedures, worn or damaged parts, or loose or missing components. And finally, the external factors include bird strikes, volcanic ash injection, or severe weather conditions. Consequences of engine failure are very important. It can be treated as very seriously. The consequences of engine failure can vary depending upon the number of factors, including the type of aircraft, the altitude at which the failure occurs, and the pilot's response. In some cases, engine failure may result in a safe landing, while in other cases, it may lead to a more serious accident. In the early days of jet engine powered transport aircraft, engine failures in all phases of flight were a fairly frequent occurrence. Statistics from the 1960s indicate that failures resulting in in-flight shutdowns occurred at an approximate rate of 40 per 1 lakh flight hours or 1 per 2500 flight hours. The rate is the equivalent of every engine failing once every year. By contrast, the failure rate of the engines installed on current rate of engines installed on current generation of aircraft have a failure rate of less than 1 per 1 lakh flight hours. Infrequent as this might seem, engines do fail, and failure during takeoff has very serious safety of flight implications. The aerodynamic effects of the failure and the immediate actions by the flight crew which are necessary to ensure an acceptable outcome are similar to those in a light twin aircraft engine. However, unlike their smaller versions, the certification criteria for multi-engine transport category jet aircraft require that the aircraft be capable of achieving a specified minimum climb rate that will ensure obstacle clearance should an engine failure occur on takeoff. Okay. So there are many safety and performance requirements that must be met before an aircraft will be issued a type of certificate. For a multi-engine transport category jet aircraft, minimum runway requirements that allow the safe rejection or continuation of a takeoff in the event of a failure and the availability to comply with minimum speed of engine, outclimb gradients and obstacle clearance criteria both critically important, and the runway requirements are very important for takeoff as well as the landing. These kind of things we should follow to avoid the engine, not only the engine failure, to avoid the accidents. Now, it is a case study about Gimli glider. One of the most famous cases of engine failure in aviation history is the so-called Gimli glider incident. On July 23rd, 1983, Air Canada Flight 143, a Boeing 767, lost all three of its engines due to fuel exhaustion. The pilots were able to glide the aircraft to a safe landing at Gimli Industrial Park Airport in Gimli, Manitoba, Canada. For this, the following steps have to be followed. Can would be followed to prevent the engine failure. One is the regular maintenance. The aircraft engines are complex machines that require regular maintenance to ensure their proper operation. This maintenance should be performed by qualified technicians in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations. Proper fuel management is also a very important parameter to be considered here. Fuel is the life blood of an aircraft engine, and it is important to ensure that the correct type of fuel and the quantity of fuel is loaded for each flight. Fuel contamination can also lead to engine failure, so it is very important to use to use the clean fuel from a reputable supplier. So from this we came to a conclusion that engine failure is a serious but a preventable event. By understanding the causes and the consequences of engine failure, pilots and air crew can take steps to mitigate the risk of such incident occurring. Additionally, the regular maintenance and the proper fuel management procedures can help to further reduce the risk of engine failure. So, the case study about the engine failure to be treated as very important here. The Gimli glider for the safe landing is due to the improper maintenance have to be done in the future to avoid such kind of engine failure. Thank you.